people that I know and people who like Star Trek have said that they did not like her character. Like they just, and we even had some guests on who said that they didn't like her character at all. So I don't know. Overall, I think she starts out very much like a sort of a wimpy character, and then I feel like she does find her strength throughout the show. And I feel like you can't really. I feel like because of the mind meld that Commodore O did with her, and implanted these basically like not even suggestions, but like commands into her brain. I'm not saying she should not have to face some kind of punishment for murdering Bruce Maddox, but I think there is an argument to be made that there were things that happened that were beyond her control that she couldn't help.
Under duress.
She was under a huge amount, under the influence of another person, basically. I enjoyed watching her character go from somebody who seemed very almost lacking courage, almost cowardly, I guess you could say, to somebody who found her courage, who found her voice, because she could have gone with Bruce when he left. He wanted her to go with him, and she didn't go. She was too scared, and I think she regretted that, but didn't. But at the same time, didn't ever take steps to change that until, now the very end of it. But
until she was commanded to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. And you could even see in that moment when she did kill him, like, it was, I mean, she didn't want to do it, but she did it. Yeah. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts too, like what you thought about her character overall.
I didn't mind her character. It was fine. I didn't hate her per se or anything, so it wasn't like Faye, who was totally against her.
Right.
But I have to say, Allison Pill looks like a gigantic baby doll that has like, like the eyes that open and close when you lay it down, like, because she's got this round face and these deep set big eyes, and it's like, and a big forehead, or as Tyra Banks would say, a 5 head. I'm not Allison Pill. I'm not trying to, downgrade how you look or anything. You just look like a large adult baby doll.
I can see that.
Anyway, so sometimes that detracts from me a little bit. No, but I liked her arc all right. I don't know about the whole, like, I'm gonna kill my ex-boyfriend who just left and I didn't go with him, and then go and sleep with the captain of the ship. Like, that was a little much for me.
Okay.
But hey, whatever floats your boat. If you're having trouble dealing with things that you've done or grieving or whatever, and you do that to feel better, that's your business.
So did you feel like her relationship with Rios just kind of, like, it didn't seem to fit?
Not necessarily that. It was almost like, because for me, it was almost like because where she was in her state of mind at the time that they slept together was like that maybe they wouldn't have ended up having some sort of relationship. You know what I mean? And then it ended up that they were, I mean, I think everybody has gotten into a relationship a little too quickly after another one, or done something too quickly before you have time to really process things, and it's just a disaster.
Right, right.
And so I think that's kind of where my brain was going. But I don't mind them together because she's, he's a sexy space pilot and she's like the nerdy girl. So I'm definitely down for any of that kind of representation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, well, yes, definitely. I feel seen.
Yeah. Now, if only we could get the the sexy partner, then we'd be completely seen.
I know. I don't know any space pilots though. That's
no.
I don't know any sexy space pilots. That's the problem.
I mean, it's like when you say I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. It's totally fine if they just play one on TV.
Oh, okay. That works.
I've talked about that. There's a few.
Just to jump back to your point about jumping into a relationship like too soon. I mean, I think the timing of them getting together is odd, especially because, I mean, she literally just killed the man that she said that she loved. Here's the thing, though. He left her 14 years ago.
That's true. She murdered someone.
Yes. Yeah, I do not dispute that.
That was a little more of, she murdered someone who was close to her. That was, you know what I mean? That was a little more of it than just like that it was her ex-boyfriend, but I just wanted to use that as an example about that he was close to her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does. I guess I'm just kind of looking, I'm playing devil's advocate here on how conflicted was she about killing him? Like, she appears to be conflicted, but then at the same time, in the next episode, basically, she and Rios have an encounter. So, like, they have sex, right? So, the thing is, like, is it that she's so emotionally distraught that she needed that release?
Right. I wish we had Joe Stark's list of things to say.
Afternoon delight.
Anyway, yes.
Like, was it just that she needed that release and so she turned to Rios because there had been that underlying flirtation happening?
Yeah. Well, but you couldn't really tell if it was reciprocated flirtation or if it's just that he's like that you know what I mean? If it's just part of how he talks to people, because he wasn't like Riker kind of flirtatious. You know what I mean? Like, some people are super overtly, and some people it's like that. Are they just being nice? I don't.
Right.
That's like that's like the story of my life. Was that person just being nice to me, or?
Oh, I know. That's the story of my life too. That's the story of mine too. But like, I like your comparison of like Riker flirtatious versus Rios flirtatious. Like, I feel like when Riker was flirting, it was very much like Mr. Suave. Like, it was like almost a light switch went off. Like, he would flip between like Commander Riker and Riker. Like, I felt like there was a difference. And with Rios, I feel like it's so ingrained in his personality. It just like, he doesn't flip back and forth. It's just who he is.
Right.
And I think he flirted with Agnes because he saw that she was stepping outside of her comfort zone. And I think maybe subconsciously he like respected her for that. And then when she seemed to shyly respond, I think he was encouraged by that. So I mean, it's a lot of that I think is subtext, and you could easily say that's just me putting my own feelings onto that. But I that's how I perceived their flirtation and then subsequent relationship.
Okay.
Whatever it turns out to be.
I don't want it to, like, break up the crew.
I know. Although, I mean, the way that the episode ended, they certainly implied more than implied. I mean, we saw Raffi and Seven of Nine holding hands.
Well, no, not just holding hands, intertwining fingers.
Intertwined fingers. That is a better thing to say.
If you're out there, you don't know what the difference, then that's
so you're right. There is a big difference. You're absolutely right. There is a big difference between holding hands and intertwined fingers. I agree. So, I mean, will Seven of Nine stay on for season 2? Like, will she be part of the crew now? I don't know. That would be cool. I would enjoy that.
She still doesn't have a ranger ship.
True. And now with the Borg cube pretty much neutralized, like, there's that. Let's before we get too off, let's talk about Rios a little bit, since we started talking about him and Girardi's relationship. I don't know. To me, Rios was like a breakout character. Like, I enjoy all the characters on this show, but this has a lot to do with the actor Santiago Cabrera playing him. But man, I felt like just every scene he was in, your eyes are just boom. Like, you just have to look at him.
Yeah.
And maybe that's also my own feelings being projected here. But I felt like he was so engaging, you had to look at him.
I don't know, because we've had other people who, you know, every time I have to give a disclaimer to the guests about us gonna fangirl over him, you know, more times than not, we've had other people agree.
Yes, that is true.
You know, I mean, probably one of my favorite bits with him was the one with him as all the holograms together and Raffi trying to wrangle them like a herd of cats. It was great.
I thoroughly enjoyed that episode
also,
and that scene.
I loved Faye talking about it the next week about how terrible his accents were.
Scottish accent. Listen, I knew it had to be terrible, which is why I had to ask Faye, like, how bad was the Scottish accent? It's terrible! Although I will say, I mean, I said it in that episode, but I'll say it again. I thought it was a lovely tribute to James Doohan as the Scottish engineer. Like, and even Michael Chabon confirmed it was more than a subtle nod to Scotty. And I don't know, that makes my little Star Trek heart so happy, because I love the original series for what it is. And, but yeah, I enjoyed the holograms a lot. I loved how each one was a different personality, giving him a chance to, like, really act his heart out on the screen.
When I went back and watched it all again yesterday, I didn't watch the last 2 episodes because it was 6 a.m. But and I was gonna watch them today, but I took a nap on my lunch break, and you know, whatever, because I was working today just from home, so I was actually doing work. I promise. I noticed the first time the hospitality hologram comes up, the closed caption called him Mr. Hospitality.
Mr. Hospitality.
And I thought that was hilarious, but it's like we didn't know how, like, invasive he was, but Rios was like, I hate that hospitality hologram or whatever, and it made me laugh harder than it would have the first time. You know, the first time I was like, oh, he hates it, that's funny. But now it's like, yeah, because he's really intrusive.
Yes,
like,
he gets in your personal space.
Yes. So that's kind of funny. But
I did enjoy, I think, as much as I did love the hospitality hologram, for he was a very sort of stereotypical of what you think of as, like, somebody who would work in hospitality. I did enjoy the navigational hologram, who appeared to be always drunk and had really long hair and cursed like a sailor.
The only one that we knew his name for like the half of the season.
You're right, Emmett.